Alright, that's on. Alright, let's do Malwika's quest.
Into the shadows.
Where's all the music? I'm having second thoughts. Because I could do this one instead. In fact, second thoughts have won. Sorry, Malwika, you're gonna have to wait until tomorrow.
Loaded.
What is it? Is there something on my face?
Are you a student? Are you lost?
In a way, I suppose I am. I have no idea what to
Why
do
does this
about
look
my
different?
thesis.
Is this
Anyway,
an indication of her
I'm
energy
Layla,
levels?
a Ratalahis student at the academia. Well, for now, at least. I was just looking up some information at the House of Dana. But the more I read, the more I realized that my thesis lacks integrity. I didn't cover many of the possible outliers and...
She said her name? Oh, there it is.
I should have been done with the first draft of my thesis by now, but I've barely written a third.
What are you planning to do now?
Well, I guess I have to keep looking up as much info as possible. I shouldn't give up now. But who am I kidding? Maybe I'm not cut out to be a researcher. Maybe I shouldn't have come to the academia in the first place. All I've done is cause trouble for my advisor and classmates.
When I unlocked this character, I gave her an archetype. The archetype of the quitter. I was so fucking right about that.
I should probably notify my advisor sooner than later, so he can focus his attention on the other students. No, I don't even have the guts to bring it up, and I haven't completely given up yet.
Things aren't as bad as you think you
To
are.
be honest, I haven't slept a wink for days. Just thinking about the awful state of my thesis keeps me up at night. Lack of sleep hinders my ability to focus, and if I can't focus, I can't do any proper research or thinking. I've seen the caliber of the other academia students. They're all geniuses and fast learners. I'm nowhere near as gifted as they are. Oh, if it wasn't for someone who's been helping me out, my advisor probably would have kicked me out of the Darshan by now.
They're a good friend of yours?
No. All my friends are back home. I'm the only one who got to come study at the academia. This might sound strange, but I actually don't know who's been helping me. I don't even know if they're a person or not. Due to my lack of sleep, I sometimes get dizzy and faint when I'm stressed out.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, but oddly enough, when I wake up, all the things I was stressing over are taken care of.
I swear to
my
God, if
homework
she's
somehow
Zenitsuing
finished
this shit.
before the deadline, and my papers are perfectly written. But that's not all. My flowers are watered. I really don't know what's going on, but for now, I'm calling the phenomenon a blessing from the stars. Maybe
Is she
the stars
Zenitsuing this
above
shit?
decided to help out after seeing all the effort I put into my research. But there's no point in me studying at the academia if I keep relying on this mysterious phenomenon. It comes down to my own efforts, improving one step at a time. How else can I honor my parents and live up to the expectations of everyone who knows me? Oh no, I've already spent too much time chatting. I still haven't made much headway on my thesis. At this rate, I'll need the Wisdom Sealy's help.
She's totally Zenitsuing this shit.
Yes, but time's of the essence, so I have to take what I can get. Oh, sorry. I'm just making excuses. But the Wisdom Sealy is truly amazing and freely shares its endless knowledge. If you want its help, all you have to do is write down your question and you'll get a response a short while later.
Maybe it's a
No
researcher.
one knows who or what it actually is. It's just known as the Wisdom Sealy. But getting an answer all comes down to the Sealy's mood. Sometimes it'll only give you a vague answer or play tricks on you. I'm pretty sure a researcher wouldn't do something like that. All I can do right now is hope that it helps me.
What about that blessing from the stars?
Who knows if it'll happen this time? I can't put all my eggs in one basket. Trying my luck with another phenomenon is better than doing nothing.
Sounds a little sketchy, but let's check it out.
Oh, really? But I don't want to take up your time.
It's fine. I'm not busy.
Sorry for the bother. You're too kind.
We'll check if she's
Okay,
Zenitsuing this later.
Let's go give it a try. I've already prepared my question for the Sealy. I just hope it can help me get through this predicament. Among the countless legends surrounding the House of Dana, the Wisdom Sealy is one of the more popular ones lately. It hasn't been around for long, but word of the Sealy's existence spread like wildfire. Many people have claimed that they've received a reply from it, so it should probably help me as well.
Is there some kind of summoning ritual?
Any funny antics in the House of Dana will get you escorted out, or perhaps thrown out. Let's split up and ask around about the Sealy. Hopefully someone knows something more.
She probably won't hear back in time.
Who's she?
Everyone hold hands.
She probably won't hear back in time.
Excuse me? Have you ever heard of the Wisdom Sealy?
You've come to the right person. I came across this legend not too long ago myself. After hearing about it, I decided to test it out and asked it a question about the brightness of the stars. 2 days later, I got a response. It included 2 pages of detailed and accurate information. It saved me from having to look up a ton of resources.
Really?
Yeah, so I submitted another question a few days ago. I still haven't received a reply, though.
That sounds like what others have said. But I don't have the time to wait for a reply if the Sealy doesn't answer right away. Whatever. Can you please tell me how to submit a question to the Wisdom Sealy?
It's quite simple. Go to the bookshelf over there and find either Theoretical Astrology or a quick reference guide to astrology cases.
Oh, I know where those are. My Darshan has us use those 2 books quite often.
Okay, so write your question in a letter addressed to the Wisdom Sealy, and then insert the letter into one of the books. Come back in a day or 2, and if you see a red stamp on your letter, that means the Wisdom Sealy has replied. However, if the stamp never appears, then that means the Sealy doesn't want to answer your question.
I see. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go write down my question. Hopefully the Sealy replies. Hey!
She probably won't hear back in time.
Okay,
Take it
in
easy.
this context, it sounds like he's mentioning Lila.
Ready.
Finally, I wrote out my question and put it in the book.
What now?
Wait, I guess. Let's give it some time. I'll come back tomorrow to check on it. Don't worry about me if you have other things to do. I
I'll
see.
help.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Alright then, let's meet up here tomorrow. I really hope the Sealy replies. Time to look at the letter. Please let there be a stamp. Please let there be a stamp. There's a red stamp on it. The Sealy responded. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
This is wonderful. My troubles are at an end. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am. Let's take a look at what it wrote. Thank you for your letter. Though I have extended a response, I cannot answer your query due to your questionable motives. Questionable motives? Me? Wait, huh?
Thing 2?
Okay, let's see. Completing a thesis requires independent thought and work. You planned on using my knowledge to complete your paper's most critical portions. That's not right. However, considering that your deadline is fast approaching, and that there is substance to the content in the completed sections of your thesis, I've decided to help you nonetheless. Follow the hints I've left, and you will find the answer to your question. Consider the effort you put into thinking and searching as your payment for my knowledge. What the... It's absolutely right about everything. Oh, I'm starting to feel guilty now. I can't deny any of it. But I'm running out of time. Oh, what should I do?
I'm having brother flashbacks.
Huh? I could tell Well, you're a very kind person, but I never expected that you'd go this far to help me. I'll definitely think of a way to make it up to you once I take care of my thesis.
Just another day.
Okay, let's start by looking at the hint it left us. It should be on the second page. The first clue lies hidden on the road of wisdom. The headstrong child finally sees the world for how big it truly is, filled with awe, yet struck with fear. That's it? Not even a picture or any other marking to go off of. This is pretty abstract. What's this road of wisdom and who's the child?
Probably the academia.
Possibly. That sounds like a natural conclusion. So, is the road of wisdom the road that leads to the academia then? Wait, I think I get what it means by the child and awe and fear. When I first left home, it took me days to reach Sumeru City.
Days?
I was completely shocked when I first saw it with my own eyes. It was so grand and awe-inspiring. Pictures of the city simply don't do it any justice. After seeing the city, a thought popped into my head. Am I really worthy of this place? Worry, fear, or whatever you want to call it. If I'm connecting the dots correctly, then I think I know where the Seelie is leading us. But how does it know my feelings so well?
Maybe it wasn't referring to you specifically.
You have a point. There's nothing special about my background or experiences. It could be anyone's. Anyway, let's go take a look.
Oh my god. I would not be able to deal with someone like that in real life. That
Into the
is
shadows.
way too low energy for me.
Oh, we should be close. This is the way I came when I first traveled to Sumeru City. Aw, it's been way too long since I last visited. No, this isn't the time for that kind of talk. We have to hurry and find the clues that the Seelie left behind. It is. Relying solely on what the Seelie said might not be...
I'm
Assuming
actually
the
gonna
Seelie
start
is
skipping.
intentionally linked... So this... I was distracted and... I didn't notice it at all. The poor... There were actually more video good thing someone from the Eremites heard me shouting for... Yeah, but... When it's extremely precious. I also had it with me when the academia conducted its so I feel much more at ease knowing that I have, but I ended up losing it
Alright,
before I
so she
even
lost some
finished
kinda-
registration at the academia.
Number 2.
Yeah, and that's when I started having sleep, losing a talisman. Oh, sorry. I am starting to ramble again. I
Seelie
think
led
we
us
should
here.
look around where if the Seelie is trying to make me remember things. Oh, hope the Seelie's clue wasn't also
Let's look around first. I'm going to be straight up. I just really don't like this character. I have sat through so many of these, but I truly and completely don't like her.
Oh, we should be close. Sure enough, it's here. And in a really obvious place.
Seems to know you well.
I don't know. But how did it know about it's not hiding somewhere and spying on me, is it?
No, you aren't the center of attention.
Anyway, let's look at the clue we found. Seems like you haven't forgotten about your very first failure. See? It
That
knows
is
everything.
a lot.
I have no idea what's going on. No wonder the Celia is becoming legendary. Let's keep reading. I've placed
Where
the
heaven
second
meets
clue
water.
where
The
heaven
answer's
meets water.
Amongst the
The
stars,
answer, seemingly amongst the stars, was ultimately washed as
downstream.
just as I thought. It's something to do with me.
got the meaning?
If the first clue was any indication, then the most Ratawahist research is related to studying the stars. Let's just say there's another devastating and unforgettable failure I had.
Oh, she got two all of a sudden. I mean, she got a third one. Let's keep following the clues.
But that can't be helped, right? We do many things not. Let's keep moving. It might be hard to believe.
We do many things not because we want to, but because we have to. And we do many more because we want to, not because we have to. What we have to do usually takes up less time than what we want to do. Now, especially in the modern day.
That's where I performed my first field observation after enrolling at the academia.
Third
Everything
day.
was ready to go, and I was positive that I'd be able to get some great data. But the equipment was a little heavy, and I didn't notice that the ground was muddy.
her
And
equipment.
after I finished setting up everything, part of the ground suddenly shifted, and my equipment started teetering over. The next thing I knew, everything was covered with muddy water. Me and all my equipment.
I will accept that mental image.
You must be wondering how someone can be so clumsy.
Number 2.
Thank you for understanding. If I were the one complaining about not being well rested, it would just sound like an excuse. It's a vicious cycle. The less I sleep, the more mistakes. I just got a
alright.
minor fracture, so I had to rest at B. Marston for a while. To pay off the damages to the equipment, I took some part-time jobs. I just went to work whenever I couldn't sleep.
Insomnia got worse.
Bingo. The pressure from my studies and debt was crushing me, and I didn't want to tell my family about any of it. After all, I am the legendary Layla who made it into the academia at a young age. And had never failed an assignment in her life.
Try taking a break.
Of course. I've even considered giving up on my studies completely and returning home to help care for the Sumter beasts, but that would be kind of embarrassing. I don't mean that I'd be embarrassed in front of others. I mean that I'd be ashamed of myself. Although, it hasn't always been smooth sailing, and sometimes things don't go my way. But I guess I'm exaggerating a bit. Most of it is
Parents
still
would be
due to the
filling
help
it.
of some...
Alright.
And that's exactly why they mustn't ever find out. Anyways, let's continue looking for the next clue.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the person helping her out is her sleep self. Just like Zenitsu, who can fight when asleep.
That place downstream could be somewhere close by.
Oh.
Kyun!
Here, it's over here. Good thing it's dry. I was worried the message might be wet. Let's see. Have you found it? The unremarkable place downstream. Well, of course. How else could I be reading this message? Seriously. I've placed the third hint at a crossroad without a cross. You can turn left or right, but turning back shouldn't be an option.
That is a bit vague.
They're actually getting clearer for me. I was sort of expecting this even before I read the message. I don't know if the clues are following a timeline or if they're based on the amount of regret I have. Either way, this incident was bound to come up sooner or later.
Yeah, this is getting personal.
Huh. Would someone really go to all this trouble just to pull off some prank? I can't make heads or tails of it. Anyway, just follow me. I'll save the story for when we get there.
A duel is a battle of wills.
That is a fork in the road.
This is the place that immediately came to mind when the hint mentioned a crossroad. I came here to conduct some astrological observation once. Everything went smoothly on the way, and I thought I was starting to get used to life at the academia. But just as I was about to set up the observation equipment, I heard a strange sound coming from nearby. I made my way here and discovered a bunch of bandits robbing someone. They were a group of treasure hoarders, and the family that was being mugged looked completely helpless. They definitely wouldn't have been able to escape, and simply handing over their Mora might not have been enough to make the bandits go away.
So did she try to help it out and only muck it up? Or could it?
Not exactly. I already had a vision by that time.
So you could at least
Someone
try.
with a vision should technically be really powerful, right? Handling a group of treasure hoarders should be well within my abilities. However, I didn't know how to channel the power of the elements to fight at that time, and I was super scared. I wielded immense power, but I didn't feel any stronger than just an ordinary person.
And what happened?
Then I ran away. I scrambled towards Sumeru City looking for help. Eventually, I managed to return with a few adventurers I ran into along the way. It took longer than I had hoped, and by the time we made it back here, the treasure hoarders and the family were gone. I don't know if the family only lost their belongings in the end or if something worse happened to them. Oh, I faced a lot of problems after coming to Sumeru City, but this incident is one that I regret the most. I sat on the ground and began to cry. I could have stepped in to help that family. Would it have ended differently if I were just a little braver?
Oh, she's about to crash out. You did the right thing. Not really.
Thank you for trying to comfort me, but I can't stop myself from thinking that way.
The right thing to do when upon gaining a vision is learning how to use it as quickly as possible.
It's just as the silly said. Turning back shouldn't be an option. However, I can't help but think about running away whenever I'm faced with a challenge. You're right. The more challenging it gets, the harder I should try. I'm feeling calmer now. Okay. Let's go look for more leads nearby. We're probably getting close now. Let's search this area.
Shoo!
Here it is, just as I thought. The Seelie must have placed it here in advance. Let's see what we have this time. Whatever it is, I'm ready.
Picture.
Huh? It's a picture?
So not a riddle.
Guess not. This house looks like it's in Vimara Village. Does the Seelie want us to go there?
Last thought?
I can't think of any connection I have with Vimara Village, though. I've only been there once, and it was pretty uneventful. Whatever the case, the only way we'll know is if we go there. Thanks, but I'm fine. I'm used to pushing my limits.
You're
I
literally
know how
right
far
at
I
your
can
limit.
go. Let's see. This should be... maybe the Seelie didn't prepare anything for us this time. Or does it want us to knock on the door first?
Knock knock.
If we're wrong about this, it'll be super awkward.
Lila, calm down.
You're right. I can't always be like this. Sometime,
Coming! Just a moment. Oh, it's you, Layla. How nice of you to
Layla.
stop by again.
huh? Do you know me?
That's no way to greet a friend. Of course I know you. Is this a friend of yours? Or perhaps a classmate?
A friend. I'm having a little trouble with my thesis, and we happened to be passing by.
What is going on?
I don't know either. I don't even know where to begin. I recognized him immediately. He's one of the people that was getting robbed by the treasure hoarders, but he shouldn't know anything about me. he shouldn't even know who I am.
You've been here before.
Yeah, but that was before the robbery. I was just passing through. Even if he saw me, he wouldn't know who I am. He didn't notice me during the robbery.
Is something the matter?
I appreciate your kindness, but I really can't remember how we met. I'm sorry.
So you aren't joking? Do you still remember when my family and I were being robbed by a gang of treasure hoarders?
Yeah, that she
Yes,
remembers.
but I don't think I was of much help to you all.
She's the
How
meat
so?
suit that shit.
You told us everything yourself the last time we met. My family and I were surrounded by treasure hoarders, and I didn't know what to do. But then, we heard people approaching in the distance. Those treasure hoarders were the first to hear them coming and started to flee the moment they sensed the situation wasn't going their way. They didn't even bother taking anything with them. I wasn't sure what had happened, but the treasure hoarders were scared off. I immediately grabbed my wife and child and got out of there.
Oh, I see. I'm so glad that you and your family were unharmed.
It looks like that little trauma of yours
I thought
is
it was
relieved.
a party of adventurers that happened to pass by, but later you told me that you had spotted us and ran to find help. You were amazing. You managed to keep a level head even in the midst of danger. I know you have a vision, so those treasure hoarders wouldn't have been a match for you. But they might have harmed me and my family if their backs were pushed against the wall.
Wait, that's not exactly what happened. I still regret not helping out sooner. Anyway, when did I come here last? I don't seem to remember.
It's been some time, but not too long ago. I don't recall exactly when. What's wrong? Nothing's coming to mind?
Nope. I'm sorry. I still can't seem to remember, even after everything you've told me.
So she didn't fight the
Maybe
treasure hoarders.
I'm just under too much pressure.
You came over and ate with us, and you played games with my son. If only we had taken a picture.
Yeah, I think Sleep Layla did that.
Oh, you forgot a package here from that visit. You'll definitely remember once you see it. Wait here, I'll go fetch it.
A package? I left a package here? Wait! This is it!
Oh, your
This is
charm.
the talisman that I lost. The one that my mother... yes, this is definitely it. There's also a letter here. To Layla? No! I swear I've never done anything like that. What is going on? Let's open it and see what this is all about. Hello, Layla. It must have been quite the endeavor to follow the Sealy. Self-reflection is a wonderful quality to possess, but you'll only end up hurting. Failure is a stranger to no one. The purpose of self-reflection. If you're reading this letter, then you have succeeded in taking the first step. On the back of this letter is the core information that your thesis is lacking. It's actually been done for a while now. I hope that this journey has provided insight for your life ahead. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you courage as you carry onward and hope that you fulfill the expectations you hold.
She might have
Always
two
watching
archetypes.
over you.
One for her sleep self.
Sincerely. Oh. I thought we were going to fail. I thought that everything we did and all the but the Sealy wasn't messing with me
Could
after
it be you?
all. I doubt it. I mean, unless I somehow came here while
That's
I was
exactly what you
unconscious and
did.
don't. Although, having said that, I have heard rumors claiming that I sleepwalk a lot. But even then, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm actually the Wisdom Sealy. It could have just helped.
Yep, blessing from the stars.
I'll write back and ask to meet with the Seelie and see how it. Even though, if it wasn't for your encouragement,
I'm not sure if I understand what is.
yes, it's something.
Well then, since you're already here, why don't...
Oh,
Come on, don't be a stranger. Your friend should join us as well. You must relax and
Oh,
gather your
all our
strength so
energy
you can
got
take
back.
on the challenges ahead. Am I right?
all right. Thank you.
Full energy.
all. I can do this.
She is absolutely sleepwalking. Having entire sleep adventures.
This is the place
Skip.
that.
Let's take a break.
But what about my thesis?
Your health is more important.
Let's
find somewhere to rest.
I actually don't.
you're max
have,
stress.
I'm.
Normal bore.
Ready.
Let's stop here.
Food and juice.
Alright. I'm gonna give my legs a rest. I'll be waiting for you. I feel bad for making you go through so much trouble for me. Oh,
We all get different
I'm
skill
sorry. I always find myself having to. But enough of that. I
Aranara.
need to pull myself together. Watch out!
What's wrong?
Monsters! A lot of. No, Alpha, but
Rest.
I want to help. I mustn't keep. I should take act if you miss those opportunities. All right. I see everything.
I do want to see how she compares to talents. All maxed out, of course. Which would make her automatically so much better than this one. A Favonius sword. Also a Favonius sword, but much worse.
Busted. Into the shadows.
Everyone hold hands. My guiding stars. Hold. Mine to commit.
Let's light it up!
Oh, I got pushed.
Hey!
Gotcha. Ready.
I really need to keep up with my training. It's embarrassing to be out
You
of.
look pale.
Well, the only appropriate response would be to say that I'm fine, right? But then again, I know you'd be able to see right through those words. I'm just happy I didn't get in your.
Yeah, you did good.
Oh, thanks for the compliment. I sure don't get to hear that often. Although I may not be physically strong, my will. Can you stay with me while I recover my.
Picture. Alright.
Loaded.
Did I get that badly aimed?
Into the shadows.
Skip.
I
Might be messing with you.
Good point. Why else would supposedly everyone who's been pranked, but that means the Seelie is someone who's very strict and serious about knowledge.
We have a deadline
That's
to meet.
true. And if I... but there's nothing else we can do. After all, it'd probably be a... Huh? It's the Seelie we're talking about. According to legend, Seelies are elusive and can create countless copies of themselves. Who's
What would
to
you say
say...
for a moment?
Sorry. I'm just a little... Okay, Layla. Calm down and think. If the Seelie is a person, then we have two possible leads right now. The first, the red stamp, bears the Retawahist emblem, which is used by a lot of people. Let's go and make an inquiry. We can also...
It's gonna start teaching us that she is the wisdom
Loaded.
Seelie.
Hi there.
Do I really look like the kind of student that would be interested in such a pointless legend?
I'm sorry. We were just curious.
Well, I do happen to have some information on it.
Why didn't you tell us that?
Logically, that has nothing to do with the question I asked. I just don't want others to see me as some poor excuse for a student, whiling away my time in the House of Dana.
I don't really think bad students would come to the House of Dana to pass the time. But anyways, you were saying?
Well, I spend most of my time here, and I have noticed one time, late at night, a black shadow fell from above and landed in the central area of the House of Dana. Of course, I was a little sleepy at the time, but it startled me,
And then what happened?
Then, the shadow quickly circled behind me with incredible speed. Just as I tried to turn around to get a look at it, Yes, it was unbelievably fast. I had never seen anything like it. It was so unusual that I wasn't sure if it was real or if I was half dreaming. But given how popular the legend of the Seelie has become lately, maybe this has something to do with it.
Don't take this the wrong way, but doesn't the...
It was closed that night. I suppose even the House of Dana needs to be closed for maintenance from time to time.
I see. That makes sense. But what were you doing here if the house...
Don't look so surprised. It's a common practice to find a place to hide before they lock the doors, so you can continue reading books here. Everyone knows that.
Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi there.
Yes, of course. I've been looking into it for quite a while now. However, I feel like I'm still missing some key pieces of information.
Sure.
There are a few known traits of the Wisdom Seelie. First, it's extremely strong. It can easily carry a few dozen books, along with 4 or 5 pieces of astrology equipment all at once. It's
Okay.
extremely athletic as well. It only moves in a straight line and doesn't stop for anything, not even walls or rivers. Lastly, it has a number of special abilities. It has a hardened metal body that's impervious to injury. It can freeze water into ice, and it can also summon meteors.
That
Okay.
doesn't even sound human.
Well, it is a legend after all. It's no surprise that but these aren't just made up, you know. Each of its abilities has been confirmed by eyewitnesses. There have been many sightings too, including at Chatrakam Cave, the Avidia Forest, and around the waterfall south of Sumeru City.
Has anyone seen what it actually looks?
Not that I know of. No one's been able to get close to it. It seems like it tries to stay out of sight. I would probably want to remain a mystery too, if I were someone as legend. So what do you make of it? Have you seen it somewhere?
No. We're probably...
Not a problem. But if you may, I trust that you'll quickly discover the
Oh, hello there.
Hello. I'm a Ratawahist student and would like...
Oh, are you also here to investigate the Ratawahist Wisdom Sealy legend?
Well,
Also? I suppose it makes sense that we're not the only ones investigating such a popular legend.
Yes, I myself am also quite curious about it. But unfortunately, I haven't found anything out of the ordinary. Given you're a Ratawahist student, I'm sure you know that a lot of research references these two books. All our copies of these particular titles are frequently checked out. I have looked into it, but found no irregularities in the checkout logs.
Is there any chance the Sealy could have taken the books out and returned them without being noticed?
Not likely. That would be almost impossible. The House of Dana is extremely strict about the circulation of its books. There will always be a record if a book is checked out. And even if it managed to figure out a way to take the books without leaving any record, it's possible that someone would come looking to borrow the books before the Sealy returned them. If someone discovers that a book is missing or that it doesn't match my inventory records, it would come to my attention immediately. However, it might be possible to pull off in the case of a less popular book.
Okay, I understand now, thank you. This is useful.
still probably her.
Okay, everyone's given us some things we heard were pretty straight. Yeah. Okay, first, let's try to figure out the Sealy's identity. Then we'll analyze where it's been sighted and its motives. Finally, we'll piece everything together. From there, we should be able to predict its movement. Alright, let's give it a try.
Oh,
It's been to the Chatra... Book? The stamp. Which...
I'm just gonna be lazy about it.
Okay.
What you got?
First, based on the information Katai, the possibility of it being someone outside the Darshan can be ruled out because it'd be impossible. Next, leaving its crazy abilities aside, all the sightings took place. In other words, it's probably just the question that I submitted was no simple query, but it was able to give me a reply in just a day. So based on this reasoning, all we have to do is wait for it at the next astrological observation site.
Okay.
But that's the... I'll tell...
Come on.
We should be able to see more from up above, but how do we get up there?
These weren't here last time I was here.
Let's try using the elemental monuments in the area.
Elemental monuments. That's what we're gonna call them. I just had no interest in those slimes.
The weather today is perfect for, honestly, spending an entire... But we don't really get some sleep if you're tired. I'll be up. It's not like I could sleep anyway.
I'll stay up with them.
Thanks.
Both get that same result.
Oh. Sure enough, it didn't show up. We hardly saw any animals, let alone people. No matter how conclusive the evidence is or how perfect our reasoning may be, nothing will happen at their It's like I told you. I have a severe sleeping disorder, and there have been a lot of... I tried to understand what I had been doing when I'm unconscious. Something is actively maybe that something is me. For all I know, would the Seelie be willing to help me?
What if I help?
Of course it would be, but that's impossible. Huh? What's wrong?
Yep, we come up empty-handed.
And to think I could have been working on my thesis this whole time.
Nothing else I can do.
Please stop.
Oh, now
Come
she's
on,
up to
Layla.
4.
What are you doing? Everyone's gonna start thinking you're crazy now. Oh no, I'm losing it. So dizzy.
Oh, we're stressing her out on purpose. 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted there. Where were we?
Whoa. Uh-oh. She's got energy.
Oh, what's wrong? You look like you've got something on your mind.
Are you the other Layla?
What are you talking about? What do you mean the other Layla? I am Layla.
How about you repeat the conversation?
Fine. It appears that you were waiting for me to show up. I suppose there's no use in me pretending. I promise I don't mean any harm and I'll answer all your questions. But before that, would you mind telling me who you are first?
I'm a friend.
Let me think. Okay, I got it. You two found this place by following the hints that I left behind. You were planning to wait for me. Or I should say you were waiting for the Seelie to show up. Was this your idea or hers?
Mostly hers.
I see. Yes, she's always had great analytical skills. It'd be nice if she was more confident, though. All right. That's all the questions I have. Your turn. Please ask away.
3.
Infiltrating the House of Dana was a total accident. She'd forgotten an important book, and the House of Dana happened to be closed at the time. There were only days before the paper was due. I had no choice but to scale the walls with some simple climbing ropes and sneak in from above while the Core 30 wasn't paying attention.
Jesus Christ.
I had no idea there was still a student inside. I had no choice but to put him to sleep.
She literally has a
Any
sleep
clear
ego.
evidence of my existence would only hinder my ability to conceal my identity. It would also expose me to Layla as well. As for the special powers, well, they're just things I did during the process of trying to finish the thesis. It's like I said, I don't have much time, so I need to be as efficient as possible.
Why are you pranking people?
I can instantly tell which students are asking serious questions and which are just trying to take advantage of me to slack off. My time to move freely is quite limited, so it's only natural that I would punish the people attempting to waste my time. My intention is to help people. I'm not here to cause any harm.
You're the
That's
Seelie?
right. Though I didn't intend for it to turn out this way, really. You see, Layla doesn't have many friends at the academia. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Instead, well then, does that answer all your questions?
One more. Why are you trying to be
Ah,
secret?
you see, her emotions are incredibly unstable. She's constantly doubting herself. If she knew that there's another Layla who is capable of doing everything, she may think even less of herself. She could think, maybe I should just leave it all to her. I'm always relying on her anyway. Why not let her live my life for me? She might start thinking about giving up completely, and that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do for her. After all, she and I are one and the same. We're two sides of the same coin. No one knows her greatest strength more than I do. It's her resilience. If she's able to persevere in everything she does, then one day she won't need my help anymore. I trust that she's capable of doing that, and it's something that she should do on her own.
I see.
She actually discovered the key data she needs for her thesis a long time ago. She just didn't organize it well enough. I'll complete her thesis for her just as I have in the past. Oh, please don't share any of this with her. I would like to keep...
Understood.
Thank you for doing... She seems to be waking up now. Well, this is goodbye. If we never meet again, then I guess I did something right. Huh? Did I...
Just had a little nap.
I see. Was I
Nah,
sleepwalking?
not really.
Really?
Yeah, we wouldn't call that sleepwalking.
I don't believe you. You're hiding something. You said you were gonna help me, didn't? Please tell me.
Yep. And the picture's gonna be her being upset. Alright. Well, I confirmed it. She has a Zenitsu personality. Literal alter ego. Mail? Oh, Jean.
Ready.
Everyone hold him. Maybe I should just go back. Huh? What is it? Is there...
Are you stood in here?
Anyway...
Alright, same results. Are they a sage?
If that was the
Same
case...
results. Come on, where's the split option? Ah, too risky to rely on a legend.
You're right. I need to keep a level head. I don't have time to waste. But what do we do from here? I can't just go back and start packing to leave.
Rest up.
Rest? But my deadline's just around the corner. I don't think I can afford to rest right now.
Waste more time if you push yourself.
You do have a point. Sorry. Then how should I rest? I definitely won't be able to sleep.
Cafe?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Alright, so Layla might be two different archetypes, with her alter ego representing a different archetype.
let's sit down here and have some coffee and sweets. No. We're here to...
Oh, hey, Layla.
Huh?
Who are you?
I'm one of Layla's classmates. I just came by to say hi.
Huh.
We just submitted our theses and we're totally beat. Everyone will be meeting here to celebrate. Seeing how relaxed you look, you must have already had your thesis finished ages ago.
Nope.
Oh, no, I'm actually...
You say that every time we talk, but you've never missed a deadline. Not only that, your papers are always well written and thorough. Your advisor is constantly praising your work, yet you're always going around saying stuff like, I can't make it, I don't understand, I'm super worried. That kind of talk doesn't reflect your work at all, you know.
Well,
Who are you getting at?
For starters, she doesn't even try to participate with the group at all. It's one thing that she's not willing to help us, but she doesn't even bother showing up for our discussion meetings. Every time we come to see her, she looks out of sorts and on the verge of a breakdown. It's not like we can't finish our own theses without her, but no one wants to always see her this way.
They're not being hostile.
I know. Sorry.
Just because she breaks the mold doesn't mean it's a problem.
Whatever. There's no point in starting an argument here. If you think she can justify her behavior, then that's your opinion.
Thanks for standing up for me. I really want to help the others, but most of the time I'm barely scraping by myself.
It's because
There's
you don't want
very
them to know about the blessing.
Yeah, I can't ever tell my classmates about that. It's really just a big misunderstanding, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everyone just gives me weird looks and judges me. It's making it really difficult to find friends. It's actually pretty rare for someone to actively engage in a conversation with me, like you do.
Yeah, I know what you're about.
Huh?
I don't like what you're
What
about.
do you mean? Yeah. The thing is, I'm terrible under pressure. That's just my nature. Even the thought of everyone's expectations, and the more nervous I get, the worse things become around me. Take what Munira just said, for example. I don't think I'll...
Alright, here's our split options. Let's try completely relaxed.
Completely relaxed? But we're at a cafe. Is this...
Study's too
I
serious?
know. All right. How do I completely relax?
Sightseeing?
Sightseeing. I used to enjoy visiting... okay, what... I just want to forget about the thesis. This doesn't count.
All right.
That's quite the legitimate excuse. I grew up in a place like this. Like, those were the
What
happy...
do you usually do as a kid?
I had no matter
wild
what
berries.
ingredients we found, we would cook them over a fire, and whoever lost one of our games would have to eat all of it.
That sounds dangerous.
No, it wasn't that bad. It really depended on how lucky you were. Grilled apples and
Well, let's try it.
sure.
Let's go grill something.
Apples and zaytun peaches were the most popular fruits back then. Oh, and of course, grilled fish is delicious too. Oh, fish skin releases oils while cooking, which drip into the fire and cause it to burn even brighter. But we would always get yelled at by the grown-ups if they caught us sneaking into the river to catch fish. What's the big deal? We just want to swim. That's what we used to say. But now that I think about it, it really was quite dangerous. Thank goodness nothing bad ever happened. I think we found... I think we found...
Wish I could have grabbed one of those crabs.
Alright. There's nothing like this. I'll be here cleaning the ingredients.
Quietly now. Into the shadows.
I see everything.
Loaded.
Fresh food is the best. I feel like I've traveled back in time. We all used to run around in the woods when we were... It doesn't matter how long I'm away from the forest. I won't ever forget the feeling of running through the trees. Oh, how about you? Can you relate to that feeling? It's almost like not knowing the world will change or ever expecting it to change.
I'm an adventurer.
Whatever the case, in the end, I passed the admissions exam. And later, as I sat in a lecture at the academia, my mind started to wander and I began to think,
Homesick?
I can't go back anymore. And other similar thoughts started to come to mind. I guess, you're right. So we should let go of the past. But reminiscing, you start missing those moments once you leave them behind. From now on, I'd like to cherish every single day of my... a little bit of sugar and a good view really go a long way for relaxation. I thought it'd be impossible for me to enjoy something, but now I feel like I'm fully enjoying myself. It's really great.
Let's just walk
You're
around.
right. I've been doing research for so a carefree.
Maybe not that way. Go ahead and take advantage of this.
Everyone hold it.
Quick 1,300 more. Alright.
Wow. I never the feeling of. Can you wait for a minute?
Alright.
I'd like to wash my face.
Go for a swim.
Huh? A swim? I can't remember the last time I went swimming. I might not even know how to anymore.
Should be one of the things you don't ever forget.
Okay. Wait. No. No. Forget about... wait. We're starting already? expected I lost. How would I be able to
You did
beat
pretty
an...
good.
Really? But that's just like how I used to think that I had a gift for learning. After coming to on top of that, I'm getting weaker and weaker. Please, you're always encouraged, but swimming again really feels great. Every muscle in my body... I'm just kidding, of course. I'm sure fit... let's...
Even fish have their worries. Alright. Their biggest concerns
Tiggity.
tend to be, I don't want to die.
There's a mushroom here. You want to jump on it to see what's up there? I haven't done this in a while. I kinda want to give it a try.
Ready. Hip.
We've walked pretty far now, but I barely felt the time passing by. I've been staring at books in my thesis every day. I've forgotten how nice and happy life actually can be.
Well, it shouldn't revolve around your studies.
You're right. No matter how much of a heart you really understand more about life, release my stress. But it's a little uncivilized,
Well, we're already here.
isn't it?
Scream to your heart's content.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Just
Please
promise
don't be
not
too
to
cute.
laugh, okay? Ah! What an amazing day!
Ah, that's wholesome.
It feels like my entire body is bubbling with excitement after yelling like that. This happiness was so common as a child, but it's getting late. Oh, but it's alright if you don't want to listen to that kind of stuff. We can also tell jokes about life, or talk about
Let's
anything
talk about the
you're
stars
interested.
when they show.
Okay. The only reason I ever chose to study, my teacher told me that nature possesses a certain power that grants people an equal amount
Karma.
of kindness and fairness, and that's why I wanted to call the kind person who's the stars in the sky are something that brings happiness. Everything about home is filled with purity, and if I were to ever discard anything, that's why, no matter how tired... Yeah, thank goodness. We probably still have a while until the stars come out. Only kids sit around like this, waiting for the stars to appear.
She's probably relaxed enough to actually sleep. Oh, that was all one path, which means this one is too.
Let's sit down here and have some coffee and
Yep.
sweets.
Let's face it head on.
Face it head on? What should I do? Do you really... oh, okay. The theory sections are pretty much finished. I'll be able to finish organizing the rest on my own. As of now, I'm missing crucial observation data. And then there's the preparation for my thesis defense. What? You want to help me with my thesis? Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know how to show you my gratitude. You're so kind. I had no idea. Okay, I'll do my best. It's the least I can do, considering everything you've already done. First on the list is the experiment to get observational data. However, the weather was rainy. There were a lot of people waiting to borrow the celestial globe, and I wasn't able to extend my time slot. So I returned it. That's why I still haven't performed the necessary observations yet. That's right. The celestial globe is a high-precision device used specifically for researching the stars. Submitting an application to borrow one from the academia is pretty much the only way for me to get my hands on one. Huh? Why the Adventurers? Oh, I see. The Adventurers Guild is open to everyone's commission, so she might have some ideas. Okay, let's go and try our luck.
Mm-hmm. This may have taken 2 hours to do if I wasn't skipping her dialogue.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. How can I help you today?
I'd like to... I have a commission...
High precision celestial globe.
Equipment at the academia is in very high demand, and we aren't able...
I don't know anything about astrology, so I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the device you are looking for. However, one of our requesters happens to be an astrology enthusiast. After the Adventurers Guild helped him out, he indicated that perhaps we could arrange a meeting between you two. That should help solve your problem.
Let me do it.
Really?
You're welcome. It's my job to provide adventurers with the necessary support. The man's name is Azam. Here's his address.
Hello, are you Azam?
Yes, I am. How may I help you? Ah, I see. Well, if it's a request from an adventurer, then I'll be happy to help you. I just so happen to have the device that you're looking for. Let me fetch it and show you.
Yes, this is it. Thank you so much. Sorry. I didn't mean to...
To be honest, judging by what stands before me, I find it very hard to believe that you're an astute Ratawahist student. Astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time and mora to collect. I cherish them as if they were members of my own family, which is why I don't let just anyone borrow them on a whim. These devices...
Oh, that's completely understandable. What can I do to better gain your trust?
How about this? I don't need a deposit or anything, but I'd like you to share... If your explanation proves satisfactory, then I'll lend you the device.
Share the contents of my research?
Just explain what you've learned.
Alright, I'll try. But I can't disclose the actual details to you. How about a general overview of the research? Would that suffice?
Yes, that would be fine.
You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future, as well as attempt to summarize the correlating principles, correct?
Of course. This is the basic principle of astrology.
My current research is about a certain phenomenon called astral shift.
Interesting. That's not a topic any ordinary person would be familiar with. I have a basic understanding of the concept, but I'd like to hear you explain it.
Okay. Well, in short, it means that the results derived from astrology are prone to change. As time continues to flow, the stars change and everything else becomes affected by this change. However, what's actually driving the change is what's worth investigating.
I think that it might just be another law of nature.
If the changes follow a certain pattern or routine, then it could be explained as some law. But the changes are manifold, even when considering just a single star. The changes could be resulting from a simple single orbit shift, or it could be a more complex double orbit, or even a triple or quadruple orbit shift. These phenomena have a dramatic effect on astrological conclusions. What I'm working on now is the research and prediction of the triple orbit shift phenomenon.
Triple orbit? By yourself?
Yes. That's right.
You do know that adding an extra star to the equation increases the computational workload by more than tenfold, right?
It does get a little complicated, but it's still manageable with the use of a few self-invented techniques and a large number of star logs and star charts.
Okay, yeah, that's impressive enough.
Which leads us to why I'm in need of a high-precision celestial globe.
Amazing. I suppose I should never have judged a book by its cover. I thought you were just trying to half-heartedly deal with some school assignment.
Do I really look like that sort of person?
Don't worry. I'm just joking. I was a little cautious at first, but now I trust you completely. It would make me extremely happy if my collection could assist a researcher in achieving tangible results. Just make sure you return it to me once you're done.
Oh, thank you so much. I really needed this. Good thing Azam was willing to hear me out.
I understood some aspects of what she was
Really?
saying.
I was just explaining what it is I'm trying... Really? I don't know if you really mean it, but I'm happy to hear that. I guess even the hardest problems can be recording and comparing data will be... Let's continue with the plan.
Alright, looks like we're heading down a happy ending path.
Take it easy. Loaded. Into the shadows.
This seems like the best spot to do this. We'll need to be quiet so we don't... So here's what will happen during my thesis defense. After I present my thesis, the advisor sitting below will begin to ask questions. Theoretically, I should be able to answer any questions related to my thesis. However, I tend to get really nervous when my advisors look at me, and I end up completely forgetting what I plan to say. That's why I want to rehearse and practice presenting my points in front of someone. That's right.
You need to
You
treat it
should have
like a
gotten the gist
card
of the
game, like
content of my
Nelu.
thesis when I was explaining it earlier. It's okay if your questions are a little off.
Got it. Ready?
All right, Layla. All right.
No. When weirdly describe the application of the law of triple orbit shift. Dang.
Sure. The direction of this research is based on the results of previous based on a sample size of 124 cases, we could only achieve approximately 60% accuracy. The results were not reliable enough to be implemented as a law.
Yeah, you need over
You
well
can see
over
the
95
common traits
or
of the
99.
erroneous samples on page 3. Excuse me, I mean from the star logs in the appendix. It's clear that in each of the erroneous samples, one of the stars underwent a significant shift. This means that, we not only need to limit the number of stars, but we may all... Stars with greater shifts are often key in astrology readings. The next step of the research should be... the next step should be to identify the feasible thresholds of shift for a... And that's my answer to your... I'm gonna need more practice. I can feel myself getting flustered, and I... Oh,
Alright.
really? Then this practice must be helping. During my first thesis defense, I stood like a statue on the stage. I didn't even realize it, but I guess that means I can hardly... Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm really excited. I'm not sure how to put this. I still don't know anything about the blessing. But somehow,
Lonely?
yeah. It almost makes the blessing feel like it was just a tool used. But I would really like to discover what the blessing actually is. If I ever... That's basically how I feel about it. It's almost like how you helped me. I really cherish and appreciate it. After
I'm sure
all,
your alter
it
ego will
wouldn't
be
right
very
to
happy to
take
know
such-
you feel that
That's
way.
good. I hope it's a...
Just got an achievement. One more ending. Oh. So there's an option to fail the practice, but we're going to remedials. Probably going to end in the same result.
Hello?
Oh, 3 will absolutely ruin this for her.
You're starting to... I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, max stress.
I'm okay. My mind just decided to stray elsewhere for a moment. Give me a second to gather myself. Oh, is this the celestial globe that I needed to borrow?
Alter ego doesn't know what's happening.
Correct. I was about to test you with a few...
Oh, don't worry about it. I don't sleep very well, so I tend to get a little dizzy from time to time. I'm fine now.
She's...
With pleasure. I'll give you a general overview. You're probably aware that due to the difficulty of designing an experiment and the challenges of validating theories about the past, astrological research is usually based on an immense foundation of experience, and therein lies the largest complexity. Derived and validated conclusions may vary due to subtle changes caused by the flow of time and shifts in the stars.
I've heard about this before. I believe it's known as astral shift.
One of the most classic challenges is to use 3 stars with shifting orbits to predict the overall changes that may have occurred.
Are you referring to the triple orbit problem? Yes.
I came up with a set of prediction methods that encompass more than half of the triple orbit problems. However, there are quite a few. This set of methods is already being put into practice at the Ratawa Histarshan by my advisor, drastically simplifying the difficulty of calculation.
Yes, I've heard about that. The announcement made big waves in the astrology enthusiast.
You mustn't judge a book by its cover, you know. The thesis I'm working on this time aims to address the remaining triple orbit problems, as well as eliminate a portion of the...
I see. In that case, I'd just keep it as part of a collection.
Thank you for understanding. Okay, what did we plan to do after this?
You aren't Layla.
Huh? What makes you say that? Is there something off about me?
Your personality changed.
Fine. Looks like I can't keep the act up any longer.
Blessing of the stars.
I suppose that is what she's been calling me. With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and variable sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Really?
Working.
That's great. You're helping with all the things that I used to do for her. Seems like you've given her a boost of confidence with your encouragement. She's only steps away from the... Anyway, what's the plan from here?
Want to practice
I
her
see.
thesis defense.
Well, it wouldn't be of any help if... Come on, let's go back to the...
Ready.
Excuse me.
Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're... Oh, and I have to ask a favor. When you give the notes to her later, please don't tell her...
Why?
Well, she's always been...
Oh, same
she
reasoning.
might feel like she's a resilient... If her condition grows, I believe that she's one of... But growth is a process and shouldn't be rushed. I will always believe in and support
right.
her.
Then that she has you.
Believe me, even if she were to end up at rock bottom, she'd find a way to somehow laugh it off as one of her silly That's the kind... Alright, I've written down all the possible questions that I think the advisors might ask. I'm not going to sign it, obviously. Oh, and don't forget about her...
Alright, that's all the Laylas. Wait, there's two of them. I could call one Layla and one Lila. What is this? Simple healing. Okay. Kaveh is next. Yeah, that's a short stream. I managed to cut down 20 so minutes by skipping a lot of dialogue. Her alter ego is definitely cooler than her main one. Again, just like Zenitsu.